Good morning, Team Alabama. We are ready for Achieve3000, and it is Voters Are VIPs. Voters are VIPs. The words that you may encounter today is harbinger, a person or thing that announces or signals the approach of a future event, and prerequisite, a benefit, privilege, or payment, or the like that is offered in addition to regular pay. And those are our words for the day. We are going to read the stretch article at a 1280, and you are going to read it at your Lexile level and answer your activity questions at the end of this. So, voters are VIPs. Sure, the U.S. president is powerful, but guess who the VIP works for? You. Not just you, of course. The President of the United States answers to all Americans, whether they're 5 years old or 105, and whether they live near the White House in Washington, D.C., or thousands of miles away in a distant U.S. state or territory. Like other elected officials, including U.S. senators and congressional representatives, state governors and legislators, mayors, and city council members, presidents are accountable to all the constituents they represent. See, you rule. In fact, politicians have the American people to thank for getting and keeping their positions or puissance. In the U.S., the other nations with representative government, citizens have privilege and responsibility to participate in democracy, which includes choosing leaders by taking part in federal, state, and local elections. Let's take a look at when, how, and why Americans exercise their right to vote. When do elections happen? When an election is imminent, there are plenty of telltale signs. And not just the ubiquitous campaign placards popping up all around town. Harbingers of election season might include televised debates, campaign ads on TV, radio, and social media, and canvassers who knock on voters' doors to make cogent case for their favorite candidate. Local and state elections can take place in any year or month, but presidential elections happen every 4 years on the first Tuesday after November the 1st. On Election Day, many Americans head to their local polling places, which might be a fire station, a school, or even a neighbor's garage, where they step into a voting booth to cast their ballots. But sometimes people vote in person earlier or vote by mail. Who can vote? Just about all U.S. citizens who are at least 18 years old can register to vote, although there are some exceptions. People under 18 are not eligible to vote, but that doesn't mean they can't be involved in elections. Kids and teens can speak out about their opinions, possibly influencing the voting decisions of adult family and friends, and they can even volunteer to help with candidates' campaigns. In most states, some teens under 18 can work at polling places, earning money and helping their country at the same time. Which leaders can people vote for? Even if some folks think a Senate hopeful from Arizona is the most sagacious leader since Abraham Lincoln, they can't cast a vote for this candidate if they're registered in, say, Alaska or Alabama. Individuals are only entitled to vote for the leaders who represent them. For example, the U.S. president, the senators for their state, the representatives for their U.S. and state congressional districts, the governor of their state, and the mayor of their city. Why is voting important? The U.S. president gets to take up residence in the world-famous White House. The members of Congress can claim their place in the hallowed chambers of the U.S. Capitol, but elections aren't about prerequisites and prestige. Elected officials pass legislation and set policies that affect all Americans' day-to-day lives, impacting education, health, and justice, as well as the economy and the environment. By selecting candidates who share their opinions and values, voters can help shape the nation both now and in the future. Believe it or not, a surprising number of people pass up this empowering prerogative. In a typical presidential election, close to half of eligible citizens don't vote. But voting isn't just a privilege, it's also a civic responsibility. When many citizens vote, the leaders elected to office more closely reflect the will of the people. In other words, the more people who participate in democracy, the better it works. That's why it's not just elected officials who are the VIPs with important jobs to do. Voters are too. Okay, guys, you're going to go ahead and read your article at your Lexile level and then do your activity. And we always shoot for 100%, but at least a 75%. That's our goal. Have a great rest of your day, Team Alabama.